Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have another Let's Talk video. So the previous one, I'm going to address it right now before this video starts. It got a little bit of, we had a little bit of disagreement, and I want to start off by saying from now on, if it is a topic that has to do with some gossip or some forum things in that regard, I will do a disclaimer saying that, hey, this is just made by a player on the forums. It's not been confirmed by any developer or anything like that. So I'm going to do a better job at, informing you guys at the beginning of the video about, what's to come and the validity of the statements being made. So hopefully that helps. But if we do disagree on some of these Let's Talk videos, personally, I think that's okay. Disagreement, that's part of life, right? But I am going to try to stay as objective as I can. If I sometimes slip, it happens. But this is going to be another one. So this one is not going to be something outrageous. It's going to be pretty much someone asking for, if we look at the title, a developer communication request, weekly short dev diaries. So we're going to read over what this person is proposing. We're going to read over some some replies, and we're going to go from there. So let's read this. So, dear Tail Worlds team, I would like to ask you for the following weekly short dev diaries. As a gamer and mod developer, I'd like to see constant weekly small dev diaries about upcoming features with pictures so that I can always look forward for things to come, see the game's progression, direction, and feel that I'm being communicated to by the developer team. It should be about an upcoming feature, either one already in development or a planned concept feature. It should be about a focus in a specific small topic and not about a large abstract concept. It should be short, 3 to 5 paragraphs with about 500 words. It should contain at least one picture, in-game screenshot, or concept art about the feature. It should be weekly, preferably the same day every week so one can look forward to it. It should be written by the game director, a designer, or a developer. It should be polished by the community management team. The diary goal is number 1, create a stable and accepted way of communication with players. Number 2, constantly marketing the game. Number 3, create a cost-effective way to show direction and progress. Thank you for reading, and thank you for your consideration. Okay, so here's my opinion. Then we're going to read some replies, and like always, leave your opinion in the description of this. Now, my opinion. So I think, personally, this is a good idea. A lot of games have done this in the past, and they've had good success. Even some games that, aren't the best of games. That recent Fallout game, they do have a dedicated post that they do, I think, weekly that talk about things and does show pictures and things of that nature that they stated in this list, right? Unfortunately, I don't agree on some of the it should have, right? But I think this is up for discussion. I think that the person wanted to paint a picture of what they would want to see, and then, obviously you can take away some things and put some things there, but this is kind of like what they foresee, right? So I think, yes, it should be about an upcoming feature, either one development or a planned concept feature. Yes, that would be pretty cool to know about. It should be focused on a specific small topic and not a large abstract concept. So what I think he means is, like, he doesn't want just like, hey, we're working on the current situation, the economy of the game. Not something abstract like that, but something like, hey, we're working on how the mechanics in a castle work, in the castle upgrades work to fix village growth. You know what I mean? Something specific, more specific. So I think that's what they mean. Yeah, I understand that. It depends what exactly they're working on and how they can really describe it, right? Should be short, 3 to 5 paragraphs with about 500 words. Yeah, it could be a little bit less, could be, a little bit more. It depends what they're actually working on and, what they actually want to showcase as well. Because you got to remember, sometimes developers don't want to showcase everything they're working on. Sometimes, a little quick surprise, a little quick this, that's always not bad anyways. But yeah, I think I would say 300 to 500 words would be good, It should contain at least one picture, in-game screenshot, or concept art of the feature. Yeah, I like that they included the concept art part, because sometimes, like I said before, if it's like a surprise thing or something of that nature, right, then you don't really want to include a picture. Plus, they might not have a picture ready for, let's say, if this becomes a weekly thing, right, that it might be being worked on right now, but they still don't have a picture that would satisfy showing the concept, if that makes sense, right? It should be weekly, preferably the same day, so one can look forward to it. That would actually be good. Yes, it would bring people to a specific place wherever they would want to post this, and it would get attention because people would be like, hey, it's that day, let's go check what they have, right? Kind of the same way that a lot of major updates in this game happen Thursday, Friday, or Saturday in those time range. So, yeah, preferably weekly. Yeah, I agree with that. Should be written by the game director, a designer, or a developer. I think it should be influenced and all that, but like you said, it should be published by a community management team. I think like if they're gonna do announcements like this, I think a community management team is the one who publishes it. But obviously, they take all their insight from a developer, right? But then they type it up however they want to type it up. But the information should come from a developer. I agree with that. And then the goal is to create a stable and expected way of communication with players. Yeah, constantly marketing the game. Yeah, I don't know if that will, but it will help the players who are very committed to stay with, you know, their commitment. I think that will help. Create a cost-effective way to show direction and progress. Yeah, I said progress. Yeah, I agree with that as well. So yeah, mainly I agree with this whole thing. You know, some minor things, but at the same time, yeah, I think this would be a great addition. Some weekly, you know, little dev updates. I think would be great. You know, we do receive updates. It's not like we don't receive updates. I don't want to put that to the side, right? Even though some when I skimmed through this, some of the replies were like, hey, you know, we don't get any updates. We can't look anywhere for any updates. That's not very true at all. They're very vocal, in my opinion, compared to a lot of other devs. But let's read some replies, right? So I'd like to hear from how the game will look in its finished state. I can confidently say the majority of complaints stem from the fact that the community has no clue whether the devs share a similar vision for the game as they do, or whether they have a completely different Bannerlord in mind. We don't know how close the game is to being finished, besides that in a year probably, which doesn't say much, hence people are rightfully worried about the future of Bannerlord. I agree and disagree. They can't really tell you how it's going to look in the finished state, right? Like, think about developing anything, really, right? So you start with a plan, you have a roadmap, but guess what? That roadmap goes one time in this direction, another time in this direction. Then they might get this idea of how they want to do this and that, you know what I mean? So, it's kind of like when let's say a game developer announces a game that's gonna come out in 3 years time, right, and they show a gameplay trailer, you can almost 100%, I would say almost 100%, see that there were major changes made from the initial trailer to when the game is released, if that makes sense, right? So there's usually huge changes, right? Because obviously, like, you might have a lot of theories in mind, but they might not pan out that way during development. But I guess I can confidently say the majority of complaints stem from the fact that the community has no clue whether the devs have a similar vision of the game. And the point of having a similar vision of the game, not everyone's gonna agree, right? And at the end of the day, it is their game, it is their company, and they can make it how they would like it, right? And I'm not saying this in a way to be like, oh, they're gonna purposely make it bad so the community doesn't like it. That's that doesn't make in any aspect of the of this conversation, it doesn't make sense, because obviously they want people to like it, obviously they want more sales, obviously they want to be more successful, right? So I don't think they're gonna purposely make it bad. I think they're doing what they wholeheartedly can do, and by reports and all these other functions, you know, that they, with the beta testing and all that, I think they're trying to make a game that everyone will like, but obviously everyone can't agree, so what the majority will like, hopefully. We don't know how close the game is to being finished, besides in a year probably. I agree with this, but at the same time, I have this pulled up as well. I'm gonna talk about this in a little bit, but this has to do with like the whole like people saying, "Oh, there's not updates, there's not people, they're not showing us an outlook, right?" But I'm gonna get to that other thread in a second. Let's read some more replies. So I like patches and beta updates. I would as well. Having a roadmap would be nice, showing to aim it to add everything subject to change, of course. Nah, okay. So here's the thing. I think the dev diaries are a great thing, but unfortunately, roadmaps, they sound great in concept, but roadmaps, if everything is subject to change, which is the second thing he said, which is, you know, show us a roadmap, but it's subject to change. There's no really, I wouldn't. It's kind of like, hey, this is kind of what I want, but it's subject to change. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the roadmaps. I don't know. It could work, but at the same time, if it's subject to change, then obviously it can just change. And then, boom, the roadmap is just destroyed, and it's not a roadmap anymore. They could also announce any dev diaries they want to do there as a weekly update. That would probably be too frequent. Information would run dry quickly. Well, at the speed that they're working on, I think a weekly thing would be fine. Every 2 weeks would be fine too. I don't think we need it every week, but week or 2 weeks, that'd be cool. Developers have had the role in the past to please the beast while buying time. Today we don't need, in my opinion, that kind of fluffy, bombastic content. Even Caleb holds. Okay, so he's saying that in the past, like the reason companies make these posts is because, you know, let's give them something to read while we you know, hold off on changes or something like that. That's a take. Yeah. Talking about that new Fallout game, you know. Yeah. I saw on Reddit that's kind of why I mentioned. I saw on Reddit that every time that they never miss the what is that, like the weekly little dev posts or whatever, but a lot of their changes are what do you call it, postponed most of the time. So agree and disagree with this. Let's read more. I really don't agree with you on the development diaries and roll pass. Okay, I don't agree with this. I think totally the opposite. They have its use and purpose. Let me give you a great and working example. Stellaris Dev Diaries. Okay, I don't know what that is, but okay. Yeah, like I said before, I'm on the fence about that. You know, they've worked in the past for some developers. For some developers, it was seen kind of like meh, right? It's like kind of like fluff, like he stated in his thing. So it's a 50-50 for me. I do agree that professional communication should be pre-planned, regular, consistent, factual, and specific. So far, it was unanticipated and irregular. Okay. Most importantly, the information should be conveyed in a balanced way, not in a biased marketing way. Dev diaries should not include only "we will do this," but also "we won't do this." Yeah, but so in this statement, he's pretty much said like they should be this way and not these terrible ways, which implying that it is this. Look, stuff is subject to change, right? And especially in developments, if we're talking about going from early access to finally releasing the game, stuff will change drastically. Certain systems will change drastically. And having like these defining statements like "we will do this" or "we won't do this." What if for the better of the game, for the better of, you know, everybody involved in playing the game, this change needs to happen, but 2 months ago they said "we will not do this"? Should they still follow it, or should they not? I don't agree with that. We need dev diaries communication more than we did before the release. I don't. We have a lot of information. I don't know. I have a lot of information to talk about just, you know, with my YouTube community side. We have a lot of information. Do you want to get useless dev blogs about horse reins and swords? Because this is how you get useless dev blogs about horse reins and swords, as we did in 2018, 2019. Alrighty. With dev blogs, we'll get 1 line of code per month if we're lucky, instead of the usual 3 lines. Good one. This guy, man. This guy's a professional troll on this forum. I swear to God. He is a professional Troll. You've seen him in my other video too. I respect it though. He never goes out of character. I respect it. I remember Kingdom Come Deliverance was in development. Warhorse was releasing the developer diaries showing what they were working on, what they achieved, and was in the future. Yeah, so like this was one of the games that I was thinking of that did a very good job when it came to these little dev diaries. So yeah, it did work. They should do this. This is a must 100%. I don't even know how they live so long without doing it. I don't think it's a must, but it's always good to see if it's implemented right. But if it's like some fluff and not really important and just like, hey, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are enjoying our, if it's something like that, then obviously we don't need it. But if it, if it's informative and objective and gets the word out and gets people to keep coming back to it as a way of like, keeping everybody communicated, I think then yeah, it's perfect, right? They did do that, but then the updates became more and more infrequent. The community manager left, and after a while it got better. And they started having updates running late, had no real info. I don't agree with this. Or they just didn't post at all with no explanation, which really pissed people off. If we get updates with actual information on a regular basis, I'm fine with that. But we have gotten updates. We have gotten, explanations from different developers about different subjects. We have, so it's not like we have gotten none. We have. I'd be happy with a little live and consistently updated window in the Bannerlord website and simply read working on next this no. Because then you would have someone who's updating this constantly, because guess what? All of a sudden they might be working on something and then boom, they just scrap it. You know what I mean? Like that happens. You're working on something, you think it's the best thing ever, and then all of a sudden you just go, you know what? Never mind. And they scrap it. So, I don't know. Ck3 takes the cake on dev diaries. Learn from your peers. What is Ck3? What is Ck3? Let me look this up in another window. Boop. Ck3 Crusader Kings 3. I've heard about this game. Okay. Point. I really don't agree with this one. I believe that Dead Rise would only get more fluff as this one. Okay. One important update was kingdom creation, which allows players to so one important update was kingdom creation, which allows players to forge their own path and clarity in true sandbox fashion by giving them the ability to create their own kingdom outside the main storyline, which doesn't really mean anything, and is to me mildly frustrating. If this is the kind of communication they're going to give, I'd rather not get nothing. Well, why? They told you what it is, and it's a pretty simple concept. It's not like, yeah, they could have put one or two more lines, but you were just talking about how you don't want fluff. Well, this was to the point as it can get, The only thing that, and I'm pretty sure this wasn't the full statement on it. This wasn't the full statement on it. Hold on. Let me find the full statement before we continue with this, okay? Hold on. Okay, so this was the statement. So I guess in a way, okay, so this was the one paragraph, but then obviously they slid into the kingdom politics with the choices and all that stuff. So it was a small little fact, which, in terms it really is a small little fact. The only thing that wasn't mentioned was you need one, which is you need clan tier 4 and one settlement. That's the only thing that wasn't included. But at the same time, in this format that they were writing, they were just listing off big facts. You know what I mean? And when honestly doesn't mean is mildly frustrating. If this is the kind of communication they're going to give us, I would rather get nothing. But you can't just take this and just not see that, all of this, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But as you say, when they are genuine and they work, they can be nice to have. Tara has proved time and time again that there's not their thing. So let's not have them waste time. Okay, so I don't understand where the negative attitude from some people that comes, like, when it comes to them updating the game. Like, I haven't experienced any negative attitude, and that's not any bias. Trust me, they're not paying me. Like I said before in another video, I have 3 jobs right now. I have a kid on the way, and I'd be very happy if they were paying me, but unfortunately, no, they are not. So I'm talking off my own free will here. But from what I've seen, I don't understand all this negative attitude towards. Maybe they've done something in the past that I'm not aware of, and if you are aware of it, please leave it in the comments. But when it comes to Bannerlord, I've seen communication, I've seen updates, and I've seen things of that nature. But let me know if that is untrue. And he agreed with this, but at the same time, like I said before, you would need a specific person for this to, you know, work, because guess what? If all of a sudden this was just stuck on one thing for the 3 days, I'm pretty sure people would complain and say, this is not what they're really working on. They haven't updated it. It would just cause more problems, in my opinion. I think something along the lines of Factoria's Friday Facts. Let's open this in a new link. Okay, what is this? Just checking it real quick. Oh yeah, that's kind of nice. Let's see. So they got like a little, you know, text. They got some images, some arrows. Nice to read, interactive. I like it. Okay, yeah. I understand. I get it. Now I've been playing for 2 months and only checked in from time to time on the forums to see what the current version of the game has changed. Reasons: bored of the current lack of features in the game. No idea where the game is headed content-wise. Noted by minor tweaks to economy and fixing exploits, which I was always oblivious that existed until I saw them in the patch notes rather than introducing new features. Well, okay, okay. So the content, I kind of understand. There is kind of a lack of content. I'm not going to pretend like there's a ton of stuff to do in the game, but there is still stuff to do in the game, right? No idea where the game is headed content-wise. They, like I said, with this thread that I'm going to talk about in a second, they do tell you where it's kind of headed, and this is kind of a biased statement because of the fact that, you know, you might have not had these problems that they have patched in the patch notes, but they've patched it because someone has sent in a report and they have confirmed that the report is true, so therefore they made the patch, you know. And you know, instead of introducing new features, they've stated before, and I feel like a broken record player, but I'm gonna just say this quick. They stated that their main focus right now is stability and stuff to do with that. FPS, crash fixes, bug fixes. That is their main priority as of right now. So they're not looking to put huge DLC content in the game yet. They're not. That's not what they're doing right now. And that's what they've stated in a couple of the dev posts that they have made. So much time in between, it is interesting to see that not much has changed. I disagree. I think a lot has changed, but okay. The changelog does not motivate me to even launch Bannerlord or give it another go, and the community on this forum is still craving for some kind of meaningful info. Okay, I wish I could enjoy it. I love Mount Blade World, but it's just too lackluster. But the pure lack of communication, be it due to inability or neglect, just worries me with the future of this game. Someone here mentioned there's no indication that television does not allow to play. Okay, see, look, again, I don't understand where all this negativity is coming from, but they have made posts of what they want to do in the future. Even the posts that this guy mentioned right here are they tell you what they've done so far, and then they go on to what they want to do in the future. So I don't understand where these blanketed statements are coming from, right? Have they done something completely terrible in the past that I'm not aware of? I'm kind of confused at this point. And the last reply is just another, you know, I'm uninstalling because most importantly, there's not enough content, but they're only fixing the stability issues, which are very important as well. But let me know what you guys think of this. You know, personally, like I said before, I do like this idea. A few little minor tweaks and things, but I do like the concept. I think it would be cool. I think it would bring more people into the game, obviously, and you know, keep people interested. But I don't agree with some of the replies of saying that, you know, the same old, like they have no communication. No, that it only takes me like a good. I'll give you an honest estimate. It takes me a good 10, 15 minutes to find multiple dev posts, multiple replies, multiple explanations. So, you know, they're on the same forum as me. So I don't know. But yeah, also let me just check this out right before. So this right here, I'm gonna show you how to get there, right? So this is the main forums. You have the Citadel, which is the main forum. Let's go from the start, right? Here's your forums. You go to the Citadel, which is under Bannerlord, right? You go to single player, the keep single player, And here's a statement regarding the plans for single player and the engine. And this was posted on May 8, 2020. May 8, 2020. So when is that? Just so, what is that? I'm going the wrong way. So this was last month. So beginning of last month. So this was close to after the game was released, right? And they said that there was no notification or no big post about what they want to see happen in those upcoming weeks, right? Well, here's exactly what they wanted to see in those upcoming weeks. It's all stated here, right? All stated here. And as you can see, a lot of these things were actually achieved. If we look, Kingdom of Politics, a sandbox to create your own kingdom. They did that. Kingdom decisions for declaring war. They did that. Adjustment to kingdom policies. They did that. New perks will likely be added on a per skill basis. As I stated, they only update per skill every single major update. They're starting to do that. Skill progression and effects balancing. They're adding secondary effects, and they're also changing effects up all the time. They're doing that. Adding new quests. They have done that. So this is the thing that, like, a lot of people are making blanket statements on stuff that I don't understand why they're doing that, because there is proof of of these announcements, and there's proof of this communication, and they answer stuff on this thread as well. If we go through the pages, like, there is what's it called, dev responses, and it's like I personally don't understand. I personally just don't understand. I don't know. Where's the dev responses? Where are they? So I don't look stupid and say that there is when there's not, right? See, look. Oh, look. They've gathered a lot of people have said a lot of things in these pages, and then guess what? They took the stuff that they thought that they could answer, and they answered all the questions. As you can see, questions are being answered. So I don't understand where the oh, they're not talking about the issues. Oh, look, another response talking about questions that they had regarding to the plans. So look, I personally don't understand where this negativity is stemming from. I understand that people didn't get what they exactly wanted. They wanted to finish the game. I understand that. But being negative just to be negative is just kind of in my opinion. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'm going to link this down below. You guys can read it for yourselves. Let me know what you guys think of the idea of the dev diaries. And yeah, it's been another episode of Let's Talk. And yeah, like always, stay safe.